All right, welcome to One Nation, a Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and I am excited to have you guys joining me on a special edition of Sports Soccer Magazine. We're not going to be on Monday night this week. We decided we were going to be on Sunday because we know that you guys are going to be out there celebrating the 4th of July. And so we thought, what better way to celebrate than have one outstanding young lady right here in our community come on to the program and just get to share a little bit about her experience at Jefferson City High School, all the different things that she did. And I'm telling you, we could make a huge list of all the things that she did. And I know her mom and dad are probably like, yeah, I can tell you about that too. But tonight we've got Emmarie Graham. She's going to be joining us on the program. And man, I'm telling you, all the different things that she's involved in. If it wasn't sports, then she was doing something in school. And so making an impact wherever she went. With that, I'm not even going to waste any more time. I'm going to go ahead and bring Emery on, and we're going to find out what it is about this young lady and why they call her E Money. Hi, Emery. How you doing?
Pretty good. Hello.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. It's always a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Yeah, good to have you on, and we're going to get to talk a little bit about your article that was in this last issue of Sports Locker magazine. You and I shared a little bit about that's a pretty intimidating photo right there. I mean, that's like get out of my way, I'm coming through. So we had that, and then we had another really awesome picture, which kind of talked a little bit more about all the other things that you do. And so we'll get into all of that tonight. But very first thing, what's this about e-money? How did that all come about?
So my tennis coach, Coach Thompson, he was the one that actually like started calling me E Money, and I think it was just a way to just pump me up. And actually, a few of my friends, some of them started calling me E Money as well, but not a lot of them because they didn't want to make my head too big. But it was just something to pump me up, and just kind of stuck with him. And he was like, "All right, E Money, let's go," and he'd give me a fist bump, and I'd get on the court and just do what I had to do.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit. You told us a little bit about that in your article about when that all took place for the very first time. It was a tennis match, right?
Yes, it was versus Elias, actually.
Elias. Okay. Okay. So what was the set up the scene? Tell us about all that and how it took place.
Okay, so it was really late at night, and I told Coach Thompson, I was like, sorry, Coach Thompson, like, I want to go home. I have a push homework to do. Like, I'm ready to go because the match had lasted about 2 hours, and I was like, I'm ready to go. I was like, I can't do anymore. And he's like, come on, E Money, you got this. He's like, you're only down a few. You can get it. You can get it. And I was like, all right, Coach Thompson, like, I'll do what I got to do. And so I actually ended up winning that match, and it was kind of like a surreal moment for me. I was like, I actually can do this. Like, I can just put my mind to it and I can do it. And I got my homework done that night as well. So it was a win on both sides.
That's right. He can be coined for that nickname for the rest of his life. He's be like, I'm the one that gave her that nickname. I'm the one. He probably would want to have some type of memory of that, and you can just tell him, well, Coach, here's your memory on Facebook Live, One Nation Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. It is there. You can go back and hear that
Go
credit
back and
anytime you
rewatch.
want.
He'd enjoy that too.
Yeah,
He'd
that's
enjoy
great.
it.
Well, you were a three-sport athlete, and I'm sure you probably even tried more. And you can tell us if you have done that, but tell us a little bit about tennis and how you started with that and just some of your highlights there.
So for tennis, I started with my best friend. We were like, why not try something new? I was like, you know what, you're right. And so I wanted to make some more friends and just have a little bit of social life, a little bit more is what I kind of went in there looking at it as. But then I actually ended up liking it a lot. And I was like, this can just be my fun sport, something to still keep me active, but like I can just do it at my own pace and just be something different. So that's how I got into it, and I just liked it ever since. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, good. So, you know, favorite moment that you had playing tennis? What was that moment?
Favorite moment might have to be playing doubles with Sandy Baskar. She was a pretty good tennis
Hmm.
player. So like one of our final matches, I got to actually play as her doubles partner, and it was pretty awesome. She let me score a few points, so I was thankful for that. So yeah, it was amazing, especially like having someone as skilled as her, just being able to teach me a little bit more. I really enjoyed that. So
Yeah. Well, tell everybody a little bit. I mean, doubles is completely different than singles. Tell them a little bit about, I mean, how different that is, if you would.
so for doubles, the court is a little bit long. You get a little bit more space to hit the ball in. And so one person will be more towards the front, towards the net, and the other person will be kind of corner to them, towards the back. And so you mostly have to move as one unit, which is it's kind of hard, but you have to communicate more than what you do in singles, obviously. And if you get a really long shot, the person at net can really finish it, put it away easily. That's probably the best part about doubles is it's the combo that you can
Hmm.
have, and it's really special. Actually, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So did you ever get hit in the back, or did you hit somebody in the back that
I
was up front?
I actually it happens a lot because I actually got hit when my partner was serving. I didn't duck low enough, and they actually did hit me in the back of my head, but it was okay. It was their second serve, so it was kind of softer, so it didn't hurt
Okay.
too bad. But I did have to give them a little, hey, what are you doing? I'm on your team, man. But it was okay.
Yeah. Thankfully, it was a tennis ball, so that's good. All right. Basketball was another sport that you participated in. Tell us a little bit about your time that you spent there. And again, I know you spent a lot of time with practice, training, receiving coaching, all the different things there. Tell us about your teammates, your coaches, and the highlights.
Okay, so I started basketball in fifth grade for like my elementary team. That was my first time playing basketball because I did cheer for 9 years of my life before that. So it was just something different I wanted to do. And I was like, why not? You know, I'm pretty fast. I could probably get the ball easily. I mean, why not try it? So then I started doing that, and I was like, wait, I like this one. This one might stick. So then I got into club with Lady Capitals. That was my first club team, and then I started going to workouts with the Missouri Phenom. Actually, Hannah Linthicum invited me to a few Phenom workouts before I was actually on the team. And so then I went to those and, got just like more developed and stuff like that. And so then I played Phenom all throughout high school and played obviously Lady Jays basketball. And it takes a lot, but it's really rewarding as a sport. I was in and out the gym basically every day. I'd go twice a day if I could,
Mhm.
just so I can get stronger, so I could, have mobility. Because one thing about our trainer, Coach Bush, is like he's really good at helping not just develop muscle, but also mobility and range and stuff like
Mhm.
that, just to help you not get as injured. And I'm blessed to not have different injuries like ACL and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I have to give him credit where credit is due because he did help me bulletproof my knees a few times. I was like, I don't know, Coach Bush is like, no, we're gonna get this right. Don't you worry. And I was like, okay. And then I've gone through. Coach Foster was my high school coach, and wow, love that lady. You
Mhm.
can't say anything bad about Coach Foster. She's amazing. um, yeah, she's won something, but I love her to death. Coach Bobby Showers is my club coach, and I had Coach Maltzberger as my phenom coach. So I've had a few coaches in my life, but
Yeah.
they all meant something different in my development process as a basketball player, and I really appreciate them for that.
Yeah. I'm thinking of your trainer. If he could put together a program for somebody that's 57 to create a little bit more mobility, I might be all up for that. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just saying. Coach Foster, she is pretty awesome. I mean, I got to watch different times and just how she interacted with you guys, and just her love for the game, but more importantly, her love for you guys, and that was she's pretty special. Yeah. So, Emery, tell us a little bit about some other coaches that you had as far as in tennis and about your coaches in track. Why don't you share a little bit about them and how special they were?
So Coach Thompson was my tennis coach, and he kind of just he let me have the free reins. He just kind of was like, Emery, you do what you got to do. He was just kind of there to motivate me, give me fist bumps. He's like, all right, you got to do this. And he was like, I know you're going to anyway. Like, I don't have any problems with you. Like, you do what you got to do because you're going to do great. So that was that one. And then for track, I had a few coaches because I did different events. So my sprint coach, Coach Spencer, she was also a sprinter as well in high school and a great triple jump jumper. So she kind of like helped me build, my speed, and she was hard. She was a hard coach for sure. There was days I was like, you're really getting the skin this today, and I was like, are you sure? Like, I don't think I can do it. And she's like, you don't have a choice. And I was like, all right, I guess you're right. And then also Coach Talley is my triple jump coach, and he helped me get, to where I am, third place in state and fifth place in state. So it's been a ride. So I appreciate them sticking their neck out for me and just helping me develop.
Yeah.
So
Well, they do it because they love doing what they do, and they love helping student athletes achieve that highest level that they can possibly do. And um, you are somebody that I know that worked very hard at all of that and wouldn't settle for second best. So that's again that picture, and with you doing that stare down, I'm like, I don't know if I'd want to try to take the ball from you. Might give me an elbow or something. I don't know. Hey, I do want to encourage those that are watching. If you have any comments or questions that you have for Emmarie, please just feel free to go ahead and put those on here, and we might ask her a question that only you know, and she might be embarrassed. I don't know, but we'll have to see. She can respond, and if not, she won't respond. I'm just telling you. But we would like to hear from you guys as well. You're doing a great job. I want you to, before we go on to the break, I want you to talk a little bit about some of the awards that you received in basketball and track, uh, tennis. Just talk about some of those awards that you received and how special were they?
so for track, I had all state honors. My sophomore year was for our 4x1 team. And then for my junior year, it was triple jump, and senior year was also triple jump. And I also was district champion senior year and junior year, so that was kind of special, especially go back to back. So yeah, and then for basketball, all district, all conference. So yeah, it's been really special, and then like academic awards as well. So
Yeah, yeah, and we're going to get into that a little bit more too. So we'll talk about that here in the next segment. Again, you're doing an outstanding job and excited to see what's going to be taking place in the next segment as well as the speed round. And again, do not hang up before we get to the speed round because I know there's going to be some fun stuff in there. But doing a great job right now. We're going to take a quick sponsor break and we will be right back.
CNS Business Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
CNS Employment Services, they've been doing such a great job right here in mid-Missouri for over 45 years. Paula Benny and her team, they make sure that they get people that need jobs lined up with those employers that are looking for people to fill those positions. So make sure that if you know somebody that is needing a job and they need the right placement, contact Paula and her team at CNS Employment Solutions, and they'll make sure to get you hooked up. Also, we've got another sponsor that we have that we've been talking about on the program, Big Whiskies. They sponsor our coach of the issue. And just as we were talking with Emmarie about her special coaches, that's one of the things that they do. They feature a coach in each issue of Sports Locker magazine, and we get to give recognition to those people that just pour so much into the student athletes. And we just want to thank them for sponsoring our coach of the issue. So with that, we're done with our break, and now we're ready to get into the second segment with Emmarie Graham. And while we do that, I want to make sure to tell you, hey, respond, ask questions, make comments, whatever it is that you want to do. if you have a special story about her, see, look at that. Right when I said it, we have Jason Ambler jump right in there. An amazing young lady who definitely had to get her athletic blessings from her mother. You're using God's gift of ability, and refusing to settle for good enough is the greatest gift you can ever give your parents. Continue doing great things. Thank you, Jason. That's awesome. I appreciate you doing that, and I'm sure that Emmarie is not smiling at all. See, look, she's smiling. That's good. Thanks for making her evening with that comment. So, uh, Emmarie, I know you've affected quite a few people. You just have a great personality, and we'll talk about where that came from in a little bit here. But in your article, you talked about track being your favorite sport, and I know Jason's son. He was on the cover of Sports Locker doing hurdles, and it was on a cold day, and he hung in there. We took his photos outside in the cold, and I'm telling you, it was windy and cold, but he hung in there. Why don't you tell us, though, about why track is your favorite sport, and tell us about those events that you competed in, and just kind of why you chose to do those.
So for me, track is my favorite just because I love the triple jump. That's like my biggest thing. Something about being able to jump into the sand. It's like I'm a kid again or something. So I love it. Running's not really the favorite part, but I can consider myself a sprinter because I am fast. So, because I kind of have the perk of that, but I don't know, it's something about it. It's just different.
Hmm. Triple jump, you got to explain to people a little bit about that. Some people might be confusing that with long jump, and it's not. You're having to do something actually quite unnatural when you're doing it that way, right?
Yeah, it's like a hop, a skip, and then a jump into the sand. A lot of people say it's one of the harder jumps because your knees really do go through it, and I
Mhm.
can say for sure your knees definitely are a factor in that. But it's something different, and I mean, why not try it? So
Yeah, why not try it? And you finished, tell us your last 2 years. What did you finish at state?
I finished fifth this year, and I finished third last year. So
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just try triple jump, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Well, that's great. It is something really quite amazing to watch, to see how far people can, go doing that. And it is very difficult, especially going off that last leg to make it into the sand. So um, I always kind of thought, you know, the sand really wasn't as close as what it needed to be going off on that last jump. Like, getting pretty close to the edge of still on the edge of the runway
yeah.
there. So, well, good. Tell us now about your success and awards in track. What were your highlights there? Just share some of those. I mean, I know state competition, that's quite an ordeal. Why don't you go in and explain awards and the state competition?
So yeah, state's definitely up there as the top priority one, especially because like there's so many people that you get to meet along the way at district, sectionals, and then state itself. It's just interesting to see like, oh, like I saw you before, I saw you last weekend, now I see you again, and especially on the podium, it's just amazing, especially standing in front of all those fans and you get your name called and then they put your medal on you. It's a surreal moment, quite honestly. And so yeah, but one of the other awards, district champion, it was pretty neat, especially back to back years. So yeah.
Okay. You know, I'm just going to throw this question out there. Didn't even have it in my notes, but I want to ask you. All right, so you obviously had some rivals school-wise. Tell us about rivalries, and then also, were there any individual rivalries that you had? Like, I want to get out, and that person, I want to beat that person. Not because they're a
Okay,
bad
so
person, but I
for
just want to beat them.
yeah, rivalry, well, Helias was always in our like district and stuff like that, so that's always a big one. Even if they weren't in our district, it would still be a big one. And actually, the girl from Helias, her name's Tawny Gore. She was a rival, but for jumps, it's something different. Like we're rivalries, but like we're still friendly
Hmm.
and like we still want the best for each other. Like after each jump, we're giving each other a fist bump, like you
Hmm.
got it, or like how'd you jump, like are you okay, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's something special because like in basketball it's like, oh yeah, forget her, like it's fine, like it's not important. But in track, I feel like it's a special bond that you build with
Hmm.
these people because you do see them so often, and it's yeah.
It actually would probably drive you to do even better. I mean, both of you are probably pushing one
Mhm.
another to do better, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, good. You know, this is such a great transition right here. Speaking of people pushing, why don't you tell us a little bit about your family? Why don't why don't you just share with us about mom and dad and your sister and just what kind of an impact have they had on you?
So a lot of people know my dad, Carlos Graham. He's an interesting character. I say I probably get my personality from him. He's always the funny guy, but he makes me smile a lot, and he's just a hard worker, and I really appreciate all of he's done for me and just for our family in general. And then my mom, she's the supportive one. She's always there. She's always the one like, hey, how was practice today? She's always staying up late after I get out of long practices or after games. She's always just sit on the couch waiting for me to come through the door. And yeah, so then my sister, she lives a couple hours away, but I know that she's always like supporting me and just one of my biggest supporters, quite honestly. And she's one of my role models that I really look up to because she proves to me that I can do anything that I set my mind to, like no matter what
Hmm.
anybody else has done or what they say. It's just something that you have to do and just believe in yourself. And so it's really a blessing that I have like these people in my family because when no matter what happens outside of here, they're always gonna love me when I come back home. So it's really nice.
Yeah. So what character traits did you pick up from your dad and from your mom?
My dad, I'd have to say like funny. He says he has swagger if you ask him, but I don't really know if he really does or not. Thinks he's the big shot, but he kind of is. I wouldn't tell him that to his face, but he's probably watching now, so he'll hear this later. But that's probably it. And then my mom, probably like determination and what else? Uh, she's kind of like the you know what to do, like you're gonna do it, and that's kind of what I got from her as well. Because I know, like when it comes down to it, like I know what I need to do, take care of business. So she's kind of
Hmm.
taught me that as well.
Oh, good. So, what kind of appreciation do you have for them and just for all the support and the time that they've put into your high school and actually even before high school, just your career?
Yeah, I have a really big love for them, not just because they are my parents, but also just because of how much they've sacrificed for me. I know like they can't take as many vacations because I'm the one, playing road games in Iowa this weekend and Kansas the next weekend. Just giving up all their time and putting in a lot of money into me and just like making an investment out of me. And I really appreciate it because I didn't have to. Even though it's something I love, it's something that they love as well because I'm their child and I'm doing it, and you know, so
Okay. And again, Carlos, Shalonda, right here, it's recorded for who knows how. I mean, this will be on the internet as long as you want to find it. Just pull it up. Remember those happy things that Emmarie just said, and uh, maybe I don't know. They have like those little frames, photo frames, where you can just keep replaying something. Maybe you want to do that. I don't know. It'll just be
don't give
there.
them any ideas. Oh no, oh no.
That's good. So your sister, she obviously made an impact on you too. Tell us a little bit about that.
So me and my sister are actually 14 years apart. So
Hmm.
we're at different ages in our time. But she was still, when I was young, I'm like, oh, I want to be like her, like
Hmm.
as anyone little would do. She also has a son, my nephew. And he's a little ball of joy. He's something, but gotta love him. But yeah, she's always just been able to like put her mind to something and just do it, no
Hmm.
matter what anybody else says. And I just really admire that from her. And so yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, that age difference there, yeah, that is something, but it also does create I think, a special bond too. I know our granddaughter Audrey, she's 13, and we have our youngest grandson. He is just turned 2 today. So, there's a pretty good age gap, but yeah, I think there's a special bond there as well. She's the one that puts him, what does she call him? She puts him out. It's actually helping him go to sleep, but putting him out, I don't know. Are you? knocking him out. What? I don't know what's going on, but he gets put out. Oh my. Okay, so you were very, I mean, just not on the playing field or the track or the court. You were very active in school as well. You were school senior class president, student council, and you finished top 15 in your class. Why don't you tell us about that high school experience and all those different things that you just had to have your hand in, Emmarie? Come on.
Yeah, I loved high school. I don't know if college can top it. People like, college is gonna be your best time, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't think you can top it. Like, I don't know, something about JC. It's something. I loved it. If there's a spirit day, I'm going all in. I don't even care if I look goofy. It's something just about being able to just be yourself. Because you're gonna find people that attract to you that way, and I really think it's just special that everybody can have a niche in the high school, and but we still come together as one as well. Um, but yeah, I do think academics is a really big part of who I am as well. I like to be able to know that I'm someone on the court, but also off the court and in the classroom. My mom used to say like the classroom is also a court,
Hmm.
so something that you have to also excel in because without the academics, you're not going to be able to do the athletics.
Hmm.
I'm not going to allow that one. And I was like, I get that one. So it kind of drove me to even want to be a little bit more. And so as long as I just pushed myself and my family was there to help me, I knew I had resources for help. So then it kind of just pushed me to, want to be better and just go above and beyond. So,
Yeah. So that hard work and that drive that led you to want to continue your education. And we talked a little bit about before the program that you had one place in mind, but now you decided that you want to be a little bit closer to mom and dad and hear that familiar chant, MIZ,
ZOU.
ZOU.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So what helped in making that decision as far as going there?
For me, it was kind of like I just want to be a little bit closer to my parents. I know my mom's pretty happy about that one. Just being the last gram out the house. But yeah, I really just want to kind of be a little bit more closer to home. But they still have a really good program for my major, and so I'm really excited just to be able to continue going on.
Yeah. Why don't you talk a little bit about your major, what you're looking at doing?
So I'm going to ag business and focus on economics. So if you're out there looking for an intern, me, get me going.
There you go.
So yeah, I want to do something a little bit more different than just business. I feel like everyone, they're like, oh, what are you doing? They're like business, like, oh, okay, okay, but kind of just want to do a little bit something different, especially because ag, it's not going anywhere. I feel like I can put my foot down in something and I'd be able to plant roots here and there and everywhere. So I'm really
Hmm.
excited.
Well, good. Very good. I know that you are somebody that builds relationships. You like to you probably like to welcome people in that normally might be welcomed in by others. Probably like to include people. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that and why that's so important to you and just kind of defining who you are?
I think having different groups of people, just because not everyone's going to want to do the same thing that you're going to want to do. So being able to have different groups of friends like that, it's kind of special because you can do one thing with these people, one thing with the next people, but still be able to give your love to all of them equally. And I think that's something special. And so, yeah.
Okay. So you probably saw lots of different circumstances walking through the hallways. You probably saw lots of students that had maybe different circumstances that they were dealing with that might be considered a little bit hard to handle. Um, anything that you would look back on that you would like to have maybe done a little bit differently as far as maybe making an impact with some of those that maybe had a bad home or just a difficult circumstance that they came out of, anything that you would have wanted to do maybe a little differently?
Yeah, I think maybe for me, um, kind of sometimes I just walk with my friends, or sometimes I just have my earbuds in, just get to
Hmm.
class one way or another. But I think maybe I would have like talk to a little bit more people.
Hmm.
I don't know, just to see, because obviously you're gonna know who your friends are, obviously,
Hmm.
but just having a different look, and especially during assemblies, like you'd be in the gym and you're like, wow, I did not know like half of these people, and be able to just be like, oh wait, like that's cool, like you do that, like that's cool, like yeah.
Yeah.
So I think maybe just like talking to a little bit more people, like during the days that I do have time to, because I know like everyone's just trying to get to class, but like still being able to interact with people, I think it
Hmm.
should be important, and I wish I did a little bit more of that.
Hmm.
But I think people knew that if they wanted to come talk to me, they could.
Hmm.
Not mean, scary, or anything like that. So
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty scary out on the court. I'm just saying. No, you're very approachable, and you know what? Here's a good thing is that you will be able to have those opportunities yet ahead of you. As you go on to college, you're going to come across those same circumstances as you get out into the workplace when those people hire you for ag business. Um, when you get into that position, then you will come across different people that you're still going to be able to make an impact on every day. So that's awesome, and I know you're going to do great at that. Okay, you did outstanding. Great job. Now it's time for the speed round, and you did not hang up on me, so that's good. So we're going to have a little bit of fun here, and we're going to ask you a few questions. They
Alrighty.
can be short. You can make them as long as you want. Uh, the people that are watching, feel free to jump in, and if you know that maybe this is a little bit of a different answer that she really should have given, maybe a little more insight, feel free to do that. Let's go ahead and start with, what is your favorite go-to snack or meal after you got done with competition?
Fruit snacks, Scooby Doo fruit snacks. If you know me, you know I'm gonna have a Scooby Doo fruit snack somewhere around. But during the games, I would have Starburst in my socks during basketball games. People are like,
Starburst in
Emmarie,
your
what are
sock.
you doing? And my white socks still be all colorful now because the sweat just bled through the wrapper, but it's okay. It got me through it. So,
Okay.
but yeah, Scooby Doo fruit snacks definitely is the top favorite.
Okay. What is, I don't know if I've ever heard of Scooby-Doo fruit snacks. What is that?
It's the best brand of fruit snacks you could get. You know,
Okay.
like,
I might have
you
to
should
check
try
that
it.
out for the grandkids, and I
Yep.
might have to try
Yep.
one. Very good. And Starburst in your sock. Okay.
Yep.
Did your mom do your laundry, or did you have to do your own laundry?
I do my own laundry, so she didn't
Yeah.
have to do it, but she does usually go out of her way and do my laundry. She's like, Emery, what is this? And I'm like, Mom, sorry. I listen, I'm so sorry, but you know what's gotta happen. I gotta have my starburst. Like I can't not. So
Okay. That's great. Uh, okay, so we're talking about laundry. What is the one chore that you do not like to do around the house?
let's see. I think for me, it's dishes. I don't like to do dishes. I usually don't. My mom actually just got on to me a few hours ago because I left the bowl in the sink and there was no dishes in there, but I left my bowl in the sink and I was like, Mom, I didn't want to do it. I don't know, something about it. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh,
Dishes. Yeah, Mom,
dishes.
feel free to, again, pull this up whenever you want. But just remember, keep her humble. You need to do the dishes. What's the worst time of the year to do dishes?
During the holidays, because he's a cooker. He's gonna go above and beyond. He's gonna always extra cook. So those I'm not even gonna look at the dishes. I might not even come downstairs until the dinner is ready, because I don't want to be put on dish duty. I don't think I can. It's okay.
So,
I'll leave them
so
to the
do
experts.
you feel like your dad used extra dishes that he didn't really need to use?
Oh, all the time.
Okay, okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like,
Yes,
Dad,
absolutely.
how many bowls can you use for this one dish, Dad?
Yep.
What's going on?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
that's great. What is something that you look back on and you think, if I could have done this, I would have absolutely done this differently?
Mm, oh, good one. Um, I think I would have joined tennis a little bit sooner. I would have joined freshman year instead of sophomore year. Um, yeah, I think that would be my biggest one, just because
Okay.
I loved it so much, and I just wish I could keep playing. So
All right.
that'd be my biggest one.
Uh, I'm sure you had competition with your dad. So what age was it when you were finally able to dominate dad?
Oh, from the beginning, from the
Oh,
get
from the
go,
beginning. Wow.
from the beginning, could not stop me.
Okay.
Nope, nope.
That sounds like that's still a possibility of a challenge anytime. Uh,
He knows where I'm at.
yep. There you go. The challenge, the gauntlet is laid down. The gauntlet is laid down. So, what would you say if you were to be classified as a superhero? What would you be as far as a superhero?
Like what powers or like?
Whatever you want to go with.
Okay,
Powers,
for
characteristics, whatever.
powers, I'd say mm, like telekinesis or something. So I wouldn't have to get out of bed as much to get, different things. I think would be pretty nice. Probably pretty handy. Yeah, that'd be a big one. That might be it.
Okay.
I think I'd
Yep.
go with that one.
Uh, Probably something along the lines trying to put suggestions to your dad or your mom or somebody else. Do the dishes. You need to do the dishes. Emmarie
Yep.
doesn't need to
Yep.
do the dishes. Well, here's a very nice comment from your mom. She said, "We're blessed to have Emmarie as our daughter. Love you." So
Oh,
that's so nice. Thank you, Shalonda. That's very good. We think she's pretty special too. So, um, any place in the world that you would want to go to and why?
I actually just had this conversation with someone. I was thinking Cairo, Egypt. They're like, it's gonna be so hot there. I was like, but it's gonna be so beautiful. Like the city, it looks amazing. And then go see some uh, what's it called? Pyramids, sand
Hmm.
dunes. You can't get any better than that. You know,
Okay.
an Aladdin moment, if you will. So,
See, I was just thinking you had to have some kind of Aladdin thing going on there. That's what was what was in the movie where the sand of I can't remember what it was. I should know this, but where the sand turns into the lion or whatever it was when he was out.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. I
Okay,
gotcha.
you know what I'm talking about, but
I
neither one of
do.
us are getting
I
it.
do.
Okay.
No.
Hey, I've got good news for you. There's going to be something else that you've got to do tonight yet, and we would like to kind of hear the results. Your dad says we will be racing right after the interview. I'm still a runner. Thank you, Carlos. Hey, would
Oh
you guys make
goodness.
sure that you have somebody please put that on Facebook
Video.
Live or video it
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah.
All right, very good. Um, I think that's good. You've done an outstanding job. We've loved having you come on here, and we might even need to do that interview sometime where we have you on here with your dad and just have a little bit of fun and let you tell us a little bit more about him.
Oh
And
goodness.
yeah, hey Jennifer Parker said she will be filming. All right, cool. Carlos, you might want to get out and start warming up right now. I'm just telling you. All right. Emery, anything else that you would like to add?
I just appreciate everyone that's, supported me throughout this whole journey of my life, from basketball, just support in general. I really appreciate it, and you have made a difference in my life. So thank you again.
Absolutely. You've done an outstanding job. We're excited to see what else is ahead for you. And if you'll hold on just for a minute after the program, I'll visit with you, but I'm going to go ahead and close this out real quick. And just want to thank everybody for joining me tonight with Emery. Emery, uh, thank you so much. And I'll
Thank
see you in
you.
just a moment, okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, everybody, we were having a great time with Emmarie Graham tonight, and she's got more to do tonight because she's going to get out in a foot race with her dad, and we're excited to see that video. Possibly might be on KRCG 13, and hopefully we'll be able to see the results of that. I don't know. We'll have to just maybe hear about it. Might be a legend thing. I don't know, but we just really appreciate having young people on like Emmarie Graham and just not only the outstanding student athlete that she is, but just an outstanding person. And that has a lot to do with how she's been raised and the principles that she has been taught to treat others as she would like them to treat her. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight on this special edition of Sports Locker Magazine. And we are excited to bring you stuff. Next week, I'm going to probably be bringing you the program from Colorado, getting ready to go visit my son-in-law and daughter and grandkids. The youngest, he turned 2 years old today, so we're going to have a nice time with them. But until next week, this is One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars. God bless you, and we'll see you next week.